Hello, beautifuls. As we walk the journey of self-discovery and personal growth, we often bump into aspects of us that we would like to change. And one of those things is often behavior. And human nature is to dive right in and address the behavior, to stop or resist the behavior. And as we've talked before about energy, when we push against something, there's always a pushback. So when we push against a certain behavior in an attempt to stop it or eradicate it, oftentimes we become much more frustrated because the behavior continues, and now we have this behavior continuing, and we are judging ourselves and the behavior for it. And the invitation today, if that is part of your experience, and I think it's pretty safe to say if you're human, that is or will be part of your experience, is rather than judging this behavior and trying to resist it, to become curious, because the behavior in itself isn't the problem. It's simply on the surface. And what we need to address is much more deep. It's at a core level. So we need to start peeling back the layers in order to understand what is really motivating that behavior. Our subconscious mind is a beautiful thing. And it does everything from a place of keeping us safe and keeping us happy. But it only is based on things that it's known from the past. So often our behaviors are simply satisfying a need based on a belief. And once we understand what that need and feeling is and the belief is, it often becomes much easier to change the behavior because we are addressing the core, not the symptom. So instead of putting a Band-Aid solution on it, we are actually healing the wound holistically. So what might that look like? Well, let's take the example of somebody who has the behavior of saying yes when they want to say no. And in the place where they say yes instead of no, that judgment arises. And so in this place, that's where we have the opportunity to shift the energy from a place of judgment to a place of becoming curious. And so essentially, it just becomes about asking ourselves questions that take us to a pathway to knowing ourselves more intimately. And it's with that intimate knowledge that we have that we can actually change our experiences. So in this place where we're saying yes and we want to say no, then we might ask ourselves, why do we think we're saying yes? Like what makes us say yes when we want to say no? And the answer might be because if we say no, they'll get mad. Okay, we've got some information. So then we go a little deeper. Well, what do I make it mean if someone is mad at me? And of course, those answers can vary, but we'll just use one for an example here. Well, if somebody is mad at me, it might mean that they're going to stop loving me. And if they stop loving me, they might leave me. And so then what do I believe will happen if they stop loving me or they leave me? And again, those answers can vary, but it might be like, it means I'm not worthy, or it means that I'm worthless, or it means that I'm not safe and I might die. Now we're getting to the core, in the place where we understand that the need is, or the thought is that I am worthless or I am not worthy. That is the need we're filling through that behavior. We think that if we say yes, that makes us worthy or needed, or it keeps us safe. And yet, it's not true. That's a belief that we have. That feeling of worthiness, the feeling of safety, only comes from within. So until we learn how to feel worthy, till we accept our worth, till we learn how to keep ourselves safe, to understand that we are safe, the behavior will continue because we have not addressed the need within. I thank you so much for listening to this perspective, and until we speak again, please be well. And if you would like assistance in getting to the core of some of your behaviors and some of your belief systems, as always, I am more than happy to assist, and my information is either below or above, depending where you are watching this.